I just can't help but feel like I need to record a video about this. It's amazing how much information people are willing to consume, how much content they are going to watch before lifting a finger and doing some work. It's absolutely amazing. Some people will literally spend months and months researching the perfect business model for them, finding the right opportunity, and they will not spend a single fucking hour executing on some stuff and putting in some work. Or once they even start with the business model, then they are going to, maybe even buy a program and then watch some of the videos in the program, but never actually put in the work. And you have to realize that at some point, the rubber needs to meet the road. You have to actually execute. You cannot just keep consuming forever if you want to get results. You can do that for sure. You can 100% just keep watching more videos on YouTube. You can keep buying more courses, join more school communities without actually implementing any of the stuff you're learning there. But all that's going to lead to is the current situation where you are in right now. It's incredible, right? I don't know what else to say. I can't fathom how some people will just live their life constantly in this loop of learning new stuff, watching information, and never actually implementing it. You have to realize that information without implementation is absolutely worthless. And the people who are, currently outdoing you by 10x, 100x, people who are making way more money than you with any business model basically, they are not necessarily 100 times more knowledgeable than you, or they don't have access to way more information. If you've already spent tens of hours researching, consuming, you already have the base knowledge or the base information at least you need to take the first couple of steps, right? And the reason why those people are so much ahead of you is because they are actually putting in that much more work than you, right? It's not work to watch some videos. The work is when you actually send out the outreach, when you actually record the content, when you actually build out an SOP, when you actually hire that editor, when you actually work with that team member and train them one to one to make sure your service delivery is good. That's what the actual work is. Watching some videos on YouTube, buying a program and just watching the videos in there, not joining the group calls, not putting in the knowledge into actual real life practice and getting feedback on that from your mentors, that's not work. The work is the stuff that you don't want to do, okay? And it has to be done. And you're not going to feel passionate about it in the future either. I had someone come to me today saying that they feel like they've lost their passion for the agency model and it's not really for them, and they haven't done pretty much fuck all outreach in the last 6 months, and now they are like, well, I didn't get results, I don't know why, like I just couldn't sign any clients. And it's like, well, no wonder, and I'm not trying to be rude or mean, but it's not how the world works. Nobody in my coaching program pretty much who's making tens of thousands of dollars a month with their content agency, or my business partner Greg, whose agency done more than 88K last month, they don't feel excited about the business model either. They don't wake up and feel like, oh, I'm so passionate to be building this content agency. I cannot wait to do some outreach. I cannot wait to hop on some sales calls. Like, nobody wakes up like that. Nobody feels love for a business model pretty much, right? Or maybe in the very beginning you do, but it fades away very quickly once reality hits in. So the differentiating factor between those people who get the results and those people who just consume the information but never actually do with it is not that the person who did it felt like they wanted to do it or felt like they loved the business model, or I don't know, like there's no difference between them in terms of how they felt. Both of them didn't want to do the hard work, but one person decided to make sacrifices. One person decided that fuck it, even though the last thing I want to do today is send out these 20 more outreaches and log them into my tracker and then send this to my coach, even though that was the last thing they felt like doing that day, they did it regardless. And they took that time away from, watching another YouTube video or Netflix or just playing some fucking video games, whatever it is, right? They made a sacrifice, they made a decision, and they followed through with it. You have watched enough videos at this point. If you've got deep down on the rabbit hole of YouTube to be watching this raw video of me ranting in my fucking car, telling you to stop watching more videos and just consuming content without execution, then you've seen enough. You've seen the business models out there, right? You know of your opportunities probably. You know about content agency, you know about ad agencies, you know about copywriting, you know about, drop shipping, you know about Amazon FBA, you know about the different models out there. You've probably seen which ones you like, which ones you don't like. It's time for you to make a decision on which one you will actually commit to, and then just put on some horse blinders and stop thinking about any other opportunities. The reality is that every single business model works. I'm not gonna be like all the other guys trying to bullshit you and saying like, oh, only my business model works. Everything else is doesn't work. Like, I'm not gonna tell you that. Every business model works, but you have to literally just put on your horse blinders once you've picked one and commit to just that model for the next 2-3 years. Basically, just like sacrifice pretty much everything else, learn as much as you can, but also implement even more and put in even more work so that information actually is being put into good use. You can get feedback from the marketplace about that action that you took, and you can actually improve and get better and start getting results. So you've seen enough. Make a decision on what business model you want to go with. Start taking action if you have the chance to do it. Join a program, right? You've probably seen a lot of options for mentorships as well, or coaching programs in your business model that you want to go for. Just pick one that you think is the best, and it doesn't really matter. Like, at the end of the day, hopefully, you don't join one that's completely shit and that doesn't have good information and doesn't have credible people. Like, make sure you are buying from someone who actually knows what the fuck they are doing. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter, even if you didn't pick the best one, as long as you chose one that is going to like work or that gets results for people, it's fine. The main thing is just to commit to one, follow that one methodology, actually put in insane amounts of work, and just don't look at the other options, right? Don't start entertaining even these thoughts of like, well, I feel like I've kind of fell out of passion with this business model. I feel like I'm not as excited to work on this. It's not my calling. Like, bro, right now, you don't need to worry about your calling, your passion. You need to make some fucking money, okay? You need to start making 5 grand, 10 grand, 15 grand a month. And you don't want to worry about your passion or these things until then. Once you have achieved a base level of financial freedom and security, and you have something going for you, then you can start thinking about like what you will do in your free time, or maybe 5 years from now, once you've built up your business to a big enough point. But right now, don't think about those things. I'm telling you this because it just kills me to see like so many young and talented and otherwise like good people fall into this trap of consuming all this information, not doing anything with it, or even joining a program but then not actually putting in the work. Like, no program is going to work for you if you are not going to put in the work. That's just what it is, right? Most programs aren't a scam. Most programs are decent. It's just that 90% of people probably are not willing to put in nearly enough work to actually make it work, okay? That's the thing. Like, I've bought so many mentorships, so many courses in the past. I've spent like 50 grand on them in the last few years. And with most of them, if I didn't put in the amount of work I have, I could be saying like, oh, that was a scam, like that was not worth it. But because I did put in the work, I got the results through it, right? And yeah, maybe some of them weren't the best, but it doesn't matter. You can find a way to extract the value from it, okay? The thing with most people is that they are just not looking to actually find a solution. They are looking for a way out. Most people, they just want to be validated with their problems. It's like, okay, you lost your job, or you fell out of passion with a business model, whatever it is. Like, most people don't want actual solutions to their quote unquote problems. They just want to be like validated and like, oh yeah, that's fine, like yeah, you should look for a different thing. Yes, you should feel, you know, bad about yourself, or like bad about the world. You should take some time for yourself. It's like nobody cares at the end of the day. Everybody's responsible for their own life, their own decisions, and at some point, like I've said, the rubber needs to meet the road. So anyways, I'm gonna stop ranting here, but I just wanted to get this message out there because I know that I've been in this kind of like trap for so long as well in my journey, where I was watching hours of YouTube videos every day and I wasn't putting nearly as much time into actually taking action and implementing as I was putting into like just installing information into my brain. And information without implementation is worthless, okay? And then once you have made a decision on what direction you will go in, what business model you will pick, just choose one mentorship that seems good to you, right? That has results from past clients, that comes from a credible source. And just forget about everything else. Forget about all the other business models. Just commit your life to it for 2 years, and I guarantee you everything will change. That's it. There is no like magic sauce to it. A mentorship or a coaching program is not going to save you the effort. It's not going to save you the sacrifice. It's just going to give you some direction and help you avoid some of the mistakes that could cost you months otherwise to figure out. But it's not going to spare you the difficulty. It's still going to be hard. Every single day, you are not going to feel like doing the things you need to do to start that business, to get it off the ground, or to get it to the point where you want it to be. But it has to be done regardless. There's no other way around it, right? So I hope you found this message valuable. I hope it's going to help at least one person out there who's watching this. I'm rooting for every single one of you guys who are watching this video. You can make it happen. And yeah, dude, just fucking sacrifice for a couple of years, put in the work, and I guarantee you that your time will come.